What is going on? Psych Perspectives, GeoFucks here. I have so many videos to get done, to record, to upload, to schedule, to post. I see the requests, rather they're in my comment sections, on YouTube videos, on Instagram posts, on TikTok, or DMs, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, or emails, or just straight up family, friends, people who know me, who know I make commentary on various topics, will ask me to cover a certain topic. So I got about 20 something videos to make. And I apologize if you haven't noticed over the past 6 or so months, I've just been very hit or miss with videos. You know, I used to post almost every day to a few times a week to a few times a month. I'll be the first to say depression is a real thing. A lot of people downplay depression, but depression is serious. That is a serious mental health problem, issue, illness that needs to be talked about more. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit in this video before I get to discussing the request videos and other things that's going on in my life. So, depression. I was originally diagnosed with chronic severe depression in 2019. Here we are nearly 4 years later, basically. I didn't get on actual antidepressants, right, until last year at the end of February, early March 2022. So I've only been on them for a year. And even within this past year, I've spent at least 2 to 3 months not taking them. So, you feel me? So I've had, some moments. And if you look outside, it's finally starting to be warm again. It's nice again. It's literally 80 degrees right now. It has been winter for the past, it's only supposed to be 3 months, but if you live in the Midwest, you know how winter can literally come at the end of October and last all the way into April, May. So it can be a very long time. The months might tell you that it's spring, right? Because spring technically has been here for 2-3 weeks. But our weather has not been spring. Our weather is just now starting to show warmth, okay, in the middle of April. And keep in mind, we're still in the Midwest. So it is likely going to snow again. We're likely to get a snowstorm, an ice storm. It's likely to be 30 degrees or lower. So we still got another 2 to 3 weeks before we can really say, all right, we shouldn't have any more snow. We shouldn't have any more super cold days or nights. So I noticed for me, seasonal depression is up here. I already was, again, diagnosed with chronic severe depression basically 4 years ago in 2019. And I notice every time fall, winter rolls around, my mental health just goes into the toilet. You feel me? It just gets really bad. And it's always around the same time. The days get shorter. It's dark and gloomy. I mean, it'll be dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, y'all. In the fall, winter. So it's really taxing. And then it's cold. Don't nobody want to go out and do anything, And then when you also add in the fact that you already, in my case, already suffer with chronic severe depression, it's just whoa. So I've been on an antidepressant, like I said, for a year, but I spent about 2 to 3 months within the past year not taking it. And that's on me and also on my insurance because, my goodness, 1 minute you have a $20 copay, next minute is $200 for a 30-day supply. So you never really know what's going on. And then what I don't like about insurance, at least with my current insurance provider, you can't, when I used to have Blue Cross Blue Shield, when I used to have United Healthcare, you could get a 3-month supply at once. Where with my current healthcare provider, Priority Health, it's trash. I'm gonna just go on and say it. It's trash. You literally can only get a 30-day supply, even though your doctor wrote a 90-day supply, but they're only going to give you a 30-day supply. And that really becomes a problem because they don't always resend the second and third supply on time. Where if they would just send you your 90 pills at once, you wouldn't have to be going 2 to 3 months without having your medication because you would already have everything. I miss when I used to just be able to get 3 months worth of medication at once instead of waiting and then having to call and figure this out and figure that out. You feel me? Especially if you got ADHD, which I have. So it really just becomes a whole nother war-them of problems. So dealing with the depression, and then also the bad weather, and then also my environment, my surroundings, and then also the people that are in my life. I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of people look at depression from really one-dimensional perspectives. And what I mean by that is some people look at depression and will be like, oh, it's just because you're sad. And it's way bigger than that. Some people will look at it as, well, it's just your chemical imbalance. And it's way bigger than that. Because again, you can take an antidepressant, but if you're still in the same trashy environment, dealing with the same people that cause trauma and stress and constantly are bringing problems to you, it doesn't matter if you're taking an antidepressant. You're still going to be depressed because you're still in the same situation, dealing with the same people. And a lot of people don't look at that. And it's ironic because, again, you have, and you know I'm going to go there, you have the Republican conservative, right-wing people, elected officials, politicians with that mindset who claim that mental health is the biggest problem while simultaneously not wanting to support legislation to help people get more access to psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, counselors, medication so they can actually take care of those chemical imbalances. They don't want to fund that, but then they want to claim that they care about it. I'm just saying, it's a bit odd, right? Because they want to blame the gun violence and the mass shooting on mental illness, on mental health, while simultaneously not wanting to support legislation to get more resources and support for mental health. That's all I'm going to say. So, again, to me, you can't look at depression from a one-dimensional perspective. You really have to look at it from various perspectives. Like, yes, we can tackle it with medication to help with the chemical imbalances. This is very true. We also have to tackle your environment. If you're constantly around gloom, woe is me, stress, depression, it just unkept environments, it's dangerous, all of these things are in your environment. It doesn't matter that you're taking Wellbutrin every day or whatever antidepressant that you're taking. You are still in the same trashy environment. Same thing with the people that are around you. It ain't just the environment, it's also the people. Like, if you've got family members that are narcissistic, dysfunctional, toxic, also dealing with, a lot of times, also dealing with undiagnosed mental health problems themselves, that's going to cause farther more problems for you in your mental health. Again, unfortunately, we are literally products of our environment. So if you're around people that are constantly stressing you out, bringing you problems, not really going to be good for your mental health, not going to be good for your depression. I'm just going to be honest. And what I'm learning through therapy, through counseling, through using medication, through going to the gym and working out and going on nature walks and taking my dogs for walks or just walking around the house or being outside and being grounded with nature and earth and drinking more water and eating better, journaling, doing my video journals, all of these things. I'm doing so many different things to tackle my problems, right? What I'm learning is you have to make decisions to remove yourself from certain people, places, and things. It is what it is. And there are people in your life, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, jobs, where you live, people that you're talking to, dating, in a relationship with, family members, siblings, parents, whatever. There are people in your life that you're either going to have to reduce hanging out with or completely cut off. I'm going to just keep it a buck because they're not good for your mental health. It is what it is. You're either going to have to reduce the amount of time and energy that you put up with them and hang out with them and around them, and or completely cut them out of your life. Number two, second thing that I'm realizing, you're going to have to change your environment. And a lot of this is easier said than done because it's not really easy to cut off people that you care about or reduce hanging out with them in some cases. It's not really easy to get up and move to a different location, okay? Or change your environment. But sometimes you have to make changes in order for you to live a better life, in order for you to have a better mental space, and for you to reduce the side effects and problems of the mental illness and or depression, okay? So when I mean by changing your environment, like, I'm going to be real. I talk about this all the time. When I relocated back in 2020, I was probably the most happiest I had ever been. My mental health had tremendously improved. Mind you, I wasn't even doing antidepressants then. And that's because I literally changed my environment and I wasn't around the same people that were bringing problems to me. And that's what I mean by sometimes it's really the people and the places that you're around that's causing you issues and problems. All right. And I was away for a year, and that entire time, not only did my mental health improve, but I drastically reduced the amount of drinking I was doing. You know, when I look at how much I'm drinking today versus how much I was drinking 2 years ago today, it's astounding. Because literally, I would have maybe 2 or 3 beers within a month or 2 months. I would have maybe 2 to 3 hard liquor, you know, vodka, whiskey, bourbon, cognac, things of that nature, maybe 2 to 3 drinks a month or every other month when I was living away. And that's because I wasn't around the same people and I wasn't in the same location. I had a totally change of environment. And I'm realizing, I'm going to just say it, drinking alcohol and liquor when you are dealing with depression or you have any real, like in my opinion, any mental illnesses or mental health problems is not good. You really do need to either reduce the amount of drinking or cut it off completely because it really doesn't help you in the long run. Number one, alcohol is a downer. So it's not, you're depressed and you're drinking. You see the problem with this. It really doesn't help you in the long run. Okay, not to mention, that's just talking about mental health. When we look at physical health, it doesn't help you. Again, a lot of people are functioning alcoholics and don't want to admit it. I know all through grad school, I was a functioning alcoholic. And arguably now, I'm probably a functioning alcoholic. Okay, so that's what I mean by a lot of us are using negative ways to cope with the stress and depression and problems that we have. And it's not doing us any good. It's just exacerbating the problem even more. So I'm realizing now, you know what? You need to reduce the amount of drinking because this drinking every weekend, every other day, sometimes multiple days throughout the week, it's not good. And again, back to your physical health. A lot of people wonder why their stomachs are bloated or why, especially with men, you'll see a lot of men. Okay, you know I'm going to go there. You'll see a lot of cis men who have pot bellies, beer bellies, and that's because they drink too much. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, alcohol, liquor is nothing but empty carbs, empty calories, and sugar. There's no nutritional purpose for alcohol or liquor. So you're basically drinking empty carbs, empty calories, and sugar. And then you wonder why your stomach is bloated, fat, and it's just sticking out. It's just out there. You wonder why your skin gets bad. You wonder why then you wonder why people are losing their gallbladders and having cirrhosis of the liver and all of these health issues that come down the road because you drink too much. And then you have people who are diabetic who have absolutely no business drinking because, again, most liquor and alcohol is just sugar. It's just sugar, especially when you look at liquor, because a lot of people do what with liquor? They mix it with something else to make it more palatable. Okay, so not only are you drinking vodka, but you're also doing cranberry juice and pineapple juice. Not only are you doing, whiskey, but it's also being mixed with burners and all this other. So you're just getting sugar on sugar on sugar on sugar, and it's not good for you. And I know that for myself, and I'm still out here drinking. A lot of us also have the drinking and the alcoholism is also very much hereditary. Okay, we've got family members who are alcoholics. So not only do you have that almost hereditary gene that you're likely going to be an alcoholic too, but then you also have it being demonstrated to you throughout your childhood and adulthood. A lot of times when I saw people, whether they were happy, sad, stressed, mad, what were they doing? They were drinking. So again, a lot of times we saw that demonstrated. So we end up doing the same thing. It's Friday night, let's have a drink. Somebody just died, let's have a drink. You know what I mean? Got a promotion, got a raise, let's have a drink. And it's just like, there's other ways to cope. And there's other ways to celebrate without bringing in alcohol and liquor. And I think a lot of us, including myself, need to really start realizing that because it's not helping our mental health and it's not helping our physical health. I'm not saying that you can't drink, but when I look at how I was in college and then I look at how I'm currently, I need to dial it back significantly. Because it's not good. And yeah, so I do want to talk about that in this video. I'm going to get to the requests. Okay. It's a lot of comments. It's a lot of DMs and it's like 20, 30 emails. So and mind you, that's just from my personal email. I haven't even checked Ask a Millennial's email or my GeoFucks YouTube email page. I haven't even checked those. This is my personal. So it's a lot. I'm definitely going to be doing more videos discussing economics, finances, inflation, recession, wages and salaries, credit cards, how to manage credit cards, how to utilize credit to benefit you. I'm going to talk about IRAs, Roth accounts, 401ks, 403bs, pensions, retirement, savings, budgeting. Definitely going to talk about it. I'm also going to talk about the political environment, climate that we're currently in. I'm going to talk about what's going on with the legislations and bills from state to federal to local, or from local to state to federal and to global, because it isn't just what's going on in the USA, like it's what's going on across the world. Okay. And then I am going to talk about mental health, counseling. There's going to be way more accountability videos because I feel like with myself and with everyone, we all struggle with taking accountability for things. And a lot of the issues that we're talking about when it pertains to us individually or when it pertains to us being in relationships with other people, unfortunately, it typically goes back to you. You're the common denominator. And a lot of times it's things that you need to do or things that you need to stop doing. And it's not always the other person. And it can be arguably, it's really not the other person. It's you. Because you ultimately, including myself, including me, you're the one putting up with stuff that you don't want to put up with. So somewhere down the line, you got to look in the mirror and you got to realize the problem is you. So there's going to be way more accountability videos. As far as Ask a Millennial goes, oh my gosh, we keep falling off. And it's not because there isn't music. Like, there's so many projects, mixtapes, albums, dual packs that have come out. We could have been reacted and reviewed. Not to mention the fact that I am working with local artists. We're doing music videos. We're writing music again. We're in the studio again. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. It's just really about getting serious and making a true schedule for what has to be done, what videos, what songs, etc. So there's going to be more, even though I'm always saying this, but I am serious. There's going to be more music reviews, music reactions, behind the scenes on music videos. I'm going to get back to really working on little documentaries and video projects that I used to do all the time. When I look at what I was doing 5+ years ago, I was way more creative. So I am getting back into that. So that is something that I'm grateful for. Shout out to Jay Scooby, Much to Discuss, Chris the Boss, C Hard, Bedrock Studios. So much is coming. So just stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot, but there's going to be quite a few gym workout videos because I work out a lot, like a lot. So it's like, even when I'm at home, I'm spending at least 30 minutes to an hour doing push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, dumbbells, jumping jacks, taking the dogs around the back of, there's a neighborhood behind where I stay, like taking them around there. Like, it's a lot of stuff. And then when I actually go to the gym with my homies, shout out to Jordan, shout out Deepu, the workout crew. There's a lot of workouts that we do that we don't, I'm going to record, I'm going to show you that. And then it is spring and eventually will be summer. So you already know summer and spring and summer is camping season. It's outdoors adventure season for me. So I'm always hiking, camping, going fishing, going tubing, going kayaking. So you're going to see videos like that as well. But it's crazy when you're in that depressed fog and it just seems like you you're stuck. That's what it feels like for me. And I'm just now clawing my way out of that depressed fog. So I'm about to get back on these videos. I'm about to get back to it. I apologize for basically falling off the face of the planet. So stay tuned.